Hello and good evening. Welcome to this special broadcast, special live streaming from the Tribune headquarters. I am Rohit Bhan. The Punjab police has begun full throttle investigations into the killing of Punjabi singer Sidhu Moosewala. Though the police is yet to confirm arrest of any suspects in the case, but we've learned that one suspect has been detained in Dehradun. That's something which the police is yet to confirm, but according to sources, one person has been detained. And the issue is snowballing into a major political controversy. The BJP, the Congress, the Akali Dal, they have carried out full throttle attack on the Aam Aadmi Party government. Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, claiming that the law and order situation in the state was in tatters and that the government needs to act. I'm yet again joined by Jupinderjeet Singh, my colleague, who's been keeping a track of this story. Jupinder, first tell us the latest on the investigation front.
Yeah, so we have heard that the police has detained 5 persons from Dehradun, and but the number is not certain because there are different reports, and these are all based on sources. Right. It's not from the horse's mouth, and there is no official version by police. It is being said that these 5 persons were connected with this crime in some way. Whether they are shooters or not, we are not sure at this point. Though it is being said that one person was the shooter, and it's being jointly done with Uttarakhand police. The Haryana, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh police has also been mobilized because it was suspected that the gangsters, the assailants, they could have gone to Rajasthan or Haryana or anywhere. That is on the investigation part so far.
Right. And also, Jupinder, about this inter-gang rivalry. The DGP yesterday claiming that it was a fallout of an inter-gang warfare. What are you learning? I mean, what could have been the reason? Vicky Mutakera killing, that's what's being cited as one of the reasons for this. Take us through that.
Yeah, yes, that's what the DGP said it directly, though we have been doing stories about it. Vicky Middu Kheda was a youth congress leader. Before that, he was the Punjab University president of Student Organization of India, and was quite a prominent, emerging politician. And he was gunned down on 4th May 2020, which was like 2 years ago. So last year, not 2021, beg your pardon. Right. And so at that time, 4 shooters were arrested, which were involved with this, the Delhi and other gangs. So at that time, one of the suspects was Shagan Preet, and he was manager of Moosewala at that time. He was questioned by Punjab police and was called a number of times, and Delhi police had also given very strong input that he was somehow connected with this.
Okay.
And at that time, it was the Congress government which was in power. And Moosewala later on, he got ticket from Congress. So it is being alleged that his manager was not arrested because of the political links. Right. Though we are not saying anywhere, right, nor the police has said that Moosewala was connected with Middu Kheda's this thing. Right, right. Police has said that his manager was connected, and maybe that's why the other gangsters are suspecting his role.
And that's why perhaps the DGP had to issue a clarification today, saying that he was misquoted, sort of a sense, quoted out of context. He didn't say that it was a direct inter-gang rivalry between Moosewala and Goldie Brar. So that the police has clarified that still they don't have any element of evidence to indicate that, right?
Yeah. I think police is quite in a corner, Punjab police, on 2 issues. One is this clarification issue. Right. In fact, I think they had jumped the gun by holding a press conference, which is not a press conference, it is basically a press statement. They call media persons and they don't take questions. So this is a new way of governance in the Aam Aadmi Party, which is not being appreciated by the media. Because if you call media, you have to take their questions also. Otherwise, you can issue a written statement or a video statement. So in that statement, he quoted the police investigation information, and he also referred to the Facebook claim by Goldie Brar, saying that they have murdered Moosewala because of the Vicky Middu Kheda incident. So this has landed the DGP in trouble, because immediately it was, it was linked that Moosewala was somehow himself personally involved, whereas he had said that his staff was involved. So I think, as I said, they had jumped the gun, and it's quite an embarrassing for the DGP. If you take questions in a press conference, then all
you
these
would have
things
clarified.
are, clarified. They are clarified at that point and could have saved embarrassment for him. At the same time, going by the previous experience, police itself have been saying that they don't go by Facebook claims or social media claims unless it is a video.
Okay.
Because anyone can, this gang or that gang, maybe
Absolutely.
anyone can put this thing just to mislead the investigation. And never earlier has police, so swiftly gone on record as
And based on a Facebook post.
on a Facebook post where they have been telling media that don't go by Facebook post. So that was quite a new thing, and I think that's why they are now, they are in trouble. And Punjab police is they're very embarrassed because the Chief Minister doesn't seem to be trusting the Punjab police now. The investigation has just started. People have not been rounded up, and you are giving the inquiry to the High Court judge.
Right.
So that shows some kind of mistrust, which is not good for governance.
Right. And also today, Mr. Bhagwant Mann, he announced that, they will also inquire into the security lapses, or whether the withdrawal of 2 security guards to Mr. Moosewala was valid or not, was justified or not. So in a sense, many would say within the official circles that they're trying to find a scapegoat to try to pinpoint that it was a mistake by the intelligence agency, or for that matter even the police. Do you get that feeling that when he says that we'll carry out an inquiry to ascertain if there are any security lapses, do you think somewhere there is an attempt to make a scapegoat out of this case?
Well, yeah, now this is very interesting point. CM has announced this, but who will he inquire into?
Absolutely.
He himself had put the list on the Twitter.
Exactly.
Being the CM, and Moosewala's name was on number 130.
Right.
And vernacular media and some web channels specifically had picked up Moosewalas. Though the Tribune, we had focused more on the religious deras,
Right.
and the police officials whose security was pruned. So who will he inquire against?
Right.
And though he was not the first to put it, one of his lady public relation officer, a private public relation officer who was working with Aam Aadmi Party, who is not part of the Punjab government.
Right.
She has been regularly briefing the media,
Right.
inviting them for press conferences, and issuing press statements on behalf of the CM and Aam Aadmi Party. So she had put this entire list with the claims, with the big political claims, and scoring brownie points that we have pruned the security and we have fulfilled our promise of ending the VIP culture, and now they are in soup because of that.
In fact, that has become a main bone of contention between government and the political parties. They are quoting this, that how come this confidential list was leaked to the media. Mind you, there were 400 odd VVIPs in that. So when you leak it to the media and say these many people are without security guards, it makes them vulnerable. So, people like Moosewala.
Yes,
So clearly, the government is under some sort of under pressure because of the fact the way that it was handled.
Yeah, exactly. Earlier also the security list was leaked. It was made available to the media, but never through official channels.
Right.
And I don't think so. Earlier, before the AAP government, the whole list was ever released. Some pages were released or something, or maybe just data was shared. This is the third major pruning of security, and all the lists were officially released. They are not just leaked, officially released. And this is against the policy. And at this, media also has to be more responsible, because when media gets something and such a big document, and which is being released by the Chief Minister,
Right.
so your immediate reaction is to forward it to your desk or your web portal,
Right.
or to your seniors, and the ethical questions come later on. But I think this is a lesson learned for all, that this is something very, very this thing. So,
And also, Jibindar, if you talk about the politics of it, clearly it's been a little over 3 months, almost 3 months now, of Aam Aadmi Party taking over the reins of the state. They have been facing one issue after another. This is the biggest challenge Mr. Mann would be facing. A prominent Punjabi singer being shot dead in such a manner, bullets being sprayed on them. It's the biggest challenge to the Mann government. especially it has brought together all political parties on the same platform, be it the Akali Dal, be it the Congress or the BJP, all of them demanding stern action. Do you think politically it's turning out to be a big embarrassment for the party, for the Aam Aadmi Party?
Yeah, definitely, and it has put the big question marks on their governance skills.
Right.
And this is what was being said, that these Aam Aadmi Party they are all greenhorns, and they don't have administrative skills.
Right.
It is different when you are in opposition, you can say anything and get away with. But when you are the government, you have so much of responsibility. And as you rightly said, this is actually second major incident this month only.
Absolutely.
And earlier there was RPG attack on police intelligence office. I think not even during terrorism days the headquarter was attacked like this, and the guys have not been caught. The kidnappers are having free run. The gangsters seem to be having free run, and they have been issuing ransoms. So many singers have paid. And Kabaddi player Sandeep Singh was also murdered during this government's tenure. I think the government is going more into populism and more into making some political statements rather than acting responsibly. And once they are caught on the wrong foot, like this time, they go into this knee-jerk reaction that we will give this to High Court judge. Maybe they don't want the NIA, which is the central governments. They don't want NIA to investigate. And it remains to see if NIA will take, because NIA always takes.
I think the parents have made a demand that apart from the High Court judge, even if the commission is set up, it should be assisted by an NIA or the CBI.
Yes.
So that in itself puts the government in a quandary, because then the central government will come into picture.
Yes. I think NIA usually take terror cases, but going by the recent cases in Punjab, incidents in Punjab, all the working of gangsters is interlinked with terror groups now.
Right.
And so NIA, I think they will have some locus standi
Right.
to take up these cases. And the family's demand, I think it has to be met. That's why just few minutes ago the postmortem was conducted,
Right.
and the family has agreed for cremation also,
Right.
which will be held tomorrow.
Okay. And also, Jupinder, one more interesting aspect of the case is about this guy, this criminal called Lawrence Vishnu. Not many times this name crops up. Whenever there is a crime incident, sensational crime incident, police comes up with this theory that it was done by Lawrence Vishnu, his gang members. But the fact remains that behind bars, he's been able to carry out these attacks, even if, let's assume for a minute, that actually Moosewala was targeted by his gang members. With the kind of ease with which he is operating from inside the jail and carrying out, what does it speak about our security establishments?
Yeah, it is shocking, you see now when the murder has taken place, so many force and intelligence, it seems that everyone who matters has been mobilized to catch the shooters. This is where the intelligence is lacking. Police should have been looking at the Facebook posts, like the followers of all these guys. Who are they calling? Who are they connecting? If he has a phone in jail, you can tap the phone. Know what is the network. So this is where you always, public feels that police is either shoddy or is involved. So
and they could have picked up the social media chatters also. I mean, on Facebook, on other platforms.
Now it's all about beating the bush. Now even if you catch the shooters and claim that we have solved, so police role is for prevention also. Where is prevention of crime?
Right. Thank you so much, Bhindarjeet. So there you have the prevention of crime. That is something the Punjab police will be answerable for. Now, saw a lot of SITs and police department personnel who are carrying out investigations in this killing of Sidhu Moosewala. As you mentioned in the beginning, that some detentions have been made, but still police not officially telling us how many people have been arrested or whether the case has been cracked. And on top of it, the embarrassment, the DGP issuing a clarification when he made a statement yesterday that it was, that indirectly linking Moosewala to an inter-gang warfare, but today clarifying, the Chief Minister asking the Punjab and Haryana High Court to carry out a High Court judge monitored probe. All in all, difficult, challenging times for the Aam Aadmi Party government, given the fact that it's a very sensational crime that has happened, an important singer, important personality who has been killed. We'll keep on providing you all the latest updates. Jupinderjeet Singh will be filling us in with all the latest updates. You can also log on to our website tribuneindia.com, and also follow us on our other social media platforms. Meanwhile, thanks for watching.